What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. When Season 1 of Black Ops 6 was announced, this community looked at it as an absolute win. The overall reception was pretty positive. People were excited. There was a lot of content to look forward to. I mean, we're getting content for multiplayer, we're getting content for zombies, and of course, we're going to get this massive integration between Black Ops 6 and Warzone. It all seemed to be moving in the right direction. And then the update launched, and people were pretty disappointed. There were multiple bugs, multiple issues, and then on top of that, the content we received just wasn't very good. Which brings me to the point of this video that Season 1 was all about quantity and not about quality. And this seems to be somewhat of a recurring theme for Call of Duty lately. All about trying to just jam as much content down our throat as possible without taking a second to think, is any of this actually good? I mean, look at what we got in multiplayer. Besides the crazy wacky skins that we've received that just completely are nonsensical, we also got 3 pretty awful maps. I mean, maybe you could argue Hideout is okay, but both Extraction and Heirloom are so boring and unfun to play, it really begs the question what they were thinking. Like, look at Heirloom. I think any beginner could create that map and at least give it a little bit more ambiance to it. It looks like it was designed in MS Paint. It's a complete and utter joke. And then Extraction plays like a camper's wet dream. It is not fun at all. It is such a bad map. And then at least Hideout is somewhat redeeming, but even then, it's just okay. And it just feels as if Call of Duty wants us to continue to diminish our overall expectations for this game, for this franchise, as much as possible. Because then they can continue to lower the bar. But I'm glad that this community has come out and spoke out so negatively about Season 1, because it just hasn't been good enough. The content isn't up to par. It needs to be better. It needs to be improved. And whatever's coming for Season 1 Reloaded better be better than this. At least we know Hacienda is a decent map, so it'll probably play pretty well unless they ruin it with terrible spawn points, which is exactly what they've done with Nuketown. The spawning in this game is atrocious. They keep talking about making improvements. I have yet to see one. The spawning is worse, I feel like, than it was when the game launched. But so does everything else. Everything feels worse than when the game launched. How is it they continue to do this? But it's not just multiplayer that has these issues. It's not just multiplayer where the game feels as if they've gotten lazy. It feels as if that laziness has now ported over into Warzone, where they have completely lost the plot and decided to release one of the worst maps that this community has ever seen with Area 99. I know people were excited for it. They were excited for a new map coming out for Resurgence, but it plays like a wet fart. It just isn't good. And as a result, people don't want to play it. And they tried to cash in on nostalgia from Urzikstan, pardon me, and it just hasn't worked because the overall experience they're trying to sell you in Warzone right now isn't resonating with this community. People are realizing that there is a real slog with leveling up weapons in Black Ops 6. The weapon XP is just so dang low. The XP in general in this game is so low, and they quietly nerfed UAV and counter UAV XP because people, I guess, were leveling up too quickly, and that was going to affect their player retention numbers. They don't realize that every action they do has an equal or opposite reaction. And this is exactly what's going to happen, is people are just not going to play your game because you are silently making the game worse. You're de-incentivizing players to play the game, which is exactly what's happening with Warzone. Players who only play Warzone are way behind the 8 ball as a result, because they're so far behind when it comes to leveling up their weapons that they just get beamed instantly by anyone they play because it's an unfair playing field. It's almost like they have to play regular BR to even try to stand up to those that get their loadouts. And it really creates a bad experience, and you can't cover up this turd by trying to make it nostalgic. The nostalgia only can take you so far. And as a result, we have the situation we're in with Black Ops 6, where it's just not good enough. And one final point on Warzone with Urzikstan, I think people are realizing just how much better the original Warzone was than what we have currently. And that was one of the biggest potential problems that they had by re-releasing this map, was that people would remember how much better the original Urzikstan was, how much better the original Warzone was. And that's what people are seeing right now with Black Ops 6, is it's just not as good as what's come before it. And other people have said it, and I'll repeat it here. It does nothing new. It does nothing better than what other games have done in the past. The movement system we have in Black Ops 6, well, yes, is innovative. I'd argue that Black Ops 3's movement system, even Infinite Warfare's movement system, is better than this one. The overall multiplayer feel pales in comparison to even some of the other Call of Duties that we've had prior to this one. So it doesn't do anything better than its predecessors, and as a result, it feels like a half-assed, cheap ripoff of another Call of Duty game. And don't get my words twisted. It doesn't mean that I hate Black Ops 6. I like this game. But I am disappointed by their lack of care, their lack of interest in creating quality content. This game just needs some better content. Even though it doesn't do everything better than other games, it doesn't need to. It just needs to be better at what it does. And it's right now it's getting like a C, maybe a D for me, because it's just not delivering quality or consistency. And this doesn't mean the potential isn't there. It is. But they need to realize what they have, and they need to stop going against their best interests as a company and start rewarding players for playing their game. Deliver more XP to your player base. I get it that you can utilize the XP tokens in Warzone, and that should help mitigate some of the slog of the weapon grind. But it still means you have to play that game at a distinct disadvantage for a long time. Unless what your goal is try to push more Game Pass subscriptions or push people to buy the game as a result, because then at least you can play multiplayer and level up your weapons there. But some people don't want that experience, and they shouldn't be punished as a result. And this is why this incessant need to try to link Warzone and the mainline Call of Duty game is a bad idea in the long run. It's going to alienate more players than it's going to really motivate to play because of decisions like this. I don't really know why they want to keep doing it, because they're fine keeping things like mobile separated, but they want to have this integration between Black Ops 6 and Warzone to make it all flow with fluidity, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't flow fluidly. It doesn't work cohesively, and as a result, it degrades the experience for everyone. At some point, they could just realize that maybe the smart thing to do is to separate these two entities, have Warzone be its own thing, have Black Ops 6 be its own thing, maybe allow you to share skins across the two games, and that's about it. Outside of that, you level weapons independently on Warzone from Black Ops 6 multiplayer. That would be the easy solution here, but that won't happen because they want you to buy Black Ops 6. It's a whole reason why it is such a slow weapon grind. They don't really care about you weapon grinding in Warzone. They want you to feel incentivized to buy the game. It's a deceptive tactic that they are trying to persuade you into succumbing to. And it's really frustrating that that's what their goal is. They should allow this player base to kind of choose their own adventure, but instead they make one adventure so disgustingly unfun that they have kind of created a sour taste towards that within this community. So where do we go from here? Honestly, I don't know, because Season 1 Reloaded is going to bring some better content for sure. Zombies is going to get improved as a result, and we're also going to get probably Black Ops 6's first good map. But I think they need to completely rethink their XP system and start rewarding players that are playing their game instead of just trying to make it more and more of a grind to chase this player retention number that in the long run, they are just going to continue to dwindle as a result of this constant engagement farm that they're trying to create. It's just not working. They need to just make the games fun, and as a result, players will play them. But that's another video for another day. That's it for me today, though. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, leave your comments down below with all of your thoughts regarding Season 1 of Black Ops 6. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.